you have to, basically any point of time, it's all about doing something that others are not doing, because that is will get you attention in front of your customer, right?
Yeah. The continuous innovation is huge. I mean, if you're not constantly thinking of something new that nobody else is doing, you've already kind of lost the race because everybody's doing that. It's hard to capture people's attention.
I was on a call with a senior sales leader few weeks ago. So this was the line that any GTM strategy, the life cycle of 2 to 3 months, and everyone is doing it, and a collapse will happen. Then you'll have to rethink. It will give you good ROI, but if you just do not keep on innovating the strategy, thinking of new ways, the ROI keeps on decreasing.
Alrighty. Yash, thank you for joining today. I'm super excited to talk to you. Obviously, being the founder of Bitscale, you have really interesting perspective. And you guys are in obviously a super exciting stage as well. Maybe we could kick things off by you just kind of talking a little bit more about when, why you started Bitscale, what you guys do, just to give the audience any perspective in case they don't know what Bitscale is.
So if we just start by what is Bitscale, then I will actually, it's a slightly interesting story how we ended up on doing what we are doing right now. So currently Bitscale is a GTM orchestration tool. So we help GTM teams, RevOps teams, create AI native workflows, right? Which can help them scale their GTM motion, bring in innovative ideas, capture different, research a lot using web tools that are out there, utilize the power of LLMs for your GTM strategy. So that is basically what we do. We are like pretty much like Clay, that everyone knows Clay. So we are trying to solve a lot of problems there, and this is how we are trying to solve. Well, how we started on is actually an interesting story. So we started on it a year back, and that was a time when we started we want to do something in this space, and we just started going to different offices that we have network in, and just see how people are using AI into these strategies, right? How they are actually implementing AI, incorporating AI to scale their motion, right? That is when we, kind of realize that people have a need of a spreadsheet like UI, where they can, just create their workflow. They want it to be very intuitive. They want to, tinker with it a lot. They want to just change the input parameters, experiment, different kinds of experiments, get all their data inside their single spreadsheet, and send their outreach, research about their prospects, and lot of things. So at that point of time, we were just following what our customers were. Our customers basically pushed us to what Bitscale right now is. Yeah, that is how we got here.
And there's several of you guys that are co-founders, right?
Yes. So we have three co-founders, me, Avina, and Sangeet. And again, all three of us were college roommates. So like we know each other from like past 10 years now. So yeah,
Wow.
that is what I think kept us going during the tough times as well. Because if you build a company, there are always ups and downs, right? So you have to,
Yeah.
go through that down, and there will be more, right? Like every day you have 10 fires that you have to put out, right? So you have to do it. So that helps. The trust there helps a lot.
Yeah, that's huge. Usually, growing team, you would have to kind of build that, but it's nice that you guys already have that. Obviously, since there's a few of you guys, what do you think like you focus on the most?
Right. So as a CTO, I am most fondly, handling the technical aspect of the product building, the technical infra, building the, behind the product that we have, right? That is like the major focus. But again, we all have different tools. I'm mostly on the technical side of it, and then GTM is something that, all of us always are trying to do, right? As a founder. Sales is something that you have to do. It's, the responsibility of product is what I take care of.
Yeah. And are you guys still doing founder-led sales, or do you have a sales team?
Yes. No. So it's more all founder-led sales as of now. It's only like all three of us going on most of the calls in the deals. Yeah, is leading that front in our team. So yeah, but it's mostly all of it is only founder-led. We are the ones that are going on the calls and actually closing the deals.
I feel like with that, you learn the most about what really the value of the product is.
And I think this is like the in general thesis in the market as well. And we also, kind of agree with it now. Until you reach a certain stage, you are the one who, you are the one who can sell your product. You know what value it
Right.
can bring to your customer. If we will be, there are few customers where we know we will not be able to bring any value to them. Those are not arise. So you need to be upfront. You don't have to waste your time. So that is some understanding that at this stage we have the house. We will be able to, because at the end what you want to be able to, be responsible for your customer success, right? See, being a GTM tool means you
Yeah.
have to find a way to make them successful, their product successful. Right? Then only you will gain the trust. Right? So that is what we are a lot right now. We want to help them. So we really want to help. So we, as founders, we are in better position to judge whether we will be able to help the company at this stage or not. So that is what we try to,
Yeah.
focus on.
Well, Inertia Growth, obviously, we're customers of Bitscale, and I was just looking in the product yesterday and just kind of like poking around. And because obviously, whenever I go there, I'm usually going there for a specific reason to do something, and I'm not just kind of exploring. So I was just kind of exploring, and I really like that on the like you have a page of like downgrading or canceling your plan, and I was just curious like what that process would look like. And so um it was really interesting that you guys asked for a meeting before cancellation. I was like, that's really cool because not everybody would take the time. Honestly, most companies don't take the time to do that. So I thought that was really impressive.
I think in general, so like we always crave for more and more feedback wherever we can get it. So if you, so it,
Yeah.
the purpose of that call is not to push you to stay or something. We just want to genuinely understand what went wrong, because currently
Yeah.
we are kind of not in the PhD motion. So the person, any team that we are onboarding, it's like we have given access to you, right? So we thought that we would be able to add value, and then you are straight down with it. You want to just have a chat, sit with one of the founders, will take the call, and sit with you and see what went wrong. Where did you, miss the spot? So that was kind of the idea.
Yeah, really cool. I'm curious, obviously, you guys are doing a ton of, I follow all of you guys on LinkedIn, and you guys are doing a ton of testing. Can you talk through like any tests that you guys have done recently? Obviously, when you're growing a business, there's, so many things that you could test. And I think a lot of times people get overwhelmed maybe and don't really know where to start. So maybe you could talk through kind of like your internal process of how you guys decide what you want to test and then what that testing process looks like.
If we talk about the GTM motion, and also what we have realized and what we have, we are in connect with a lot of founders in the same domain, people who have been through the
Yeah.
journey, right? So I think at this point of time, founder-led inbound is the one thing that we are taking away on a lot. Right, all three founders are trying to push a lot of content, valuable content, right? Give something valuable to your user, right, which they can read, and they can we want to share our insight, our learning. This is how we are going to them. This is how, this is what is helping us. This is what is not helping us. This is where we wasted a lot of our time. Right? We want to share all those insights so that people can also, take anything
Yeah.
that they can get out from it. Right? So that is one part that we are focusing a lot, and we keep on testing what kind of content is with people, what kind of content people relate with, what kind of content gives them more value, right? So that is something that we always see. Brand positioning for an early stage startup, I think, is really important. Right? As like last last 1 year, we have been focusing a lot on that as well. What kind of company we want to be in, so we want to be customer obsessed. We want to be responsive for our customers. Right? So that is very important, and that is, I think, a clarity that as a founding team, as a small founding team, every person on your team has to align with it. Right? Because that is what will take the company to the next level. So that is also one thing. In terms of product, if we talk about product, that is whole, what we feel. So it's a mix of what customers are demanding. It's a mix of how we see the future ahead, right? So it always has to be a mix of, you have to cater to your current customers, but you have also have to plan for the future, how the product should evolve, what will actually help, what issues our customers are facing, how do we make their lives easier in terms of getting value out of the product. So those are the areas that we focus on.
Yeah. It's interesting because right now, obviously, this space is evolving so quickly and people are learning how to use some of these tools and, still figuring out what the best way to use it is. Is there any workflow that you've seen from a customer that kind of surprised you and you were like, oh, that's a really good idea? Because I feel like a lot of workflows right now, everyone's kind of thinking, just enrich with emails and then, send an email or something.
I think those workflows are, a bit, I would say legacy now because again, so like we do not recommend at this point of time any of our customer to do plain cold outbound. So that is something very difficult to get ROI. This is what we have felt, and we are also, pushing on. What like a lot of our customers are doing a lot intent-based outbound, right? So let's say if someone has
Yeah.
visited your site, so you capture them, find out if they are your ICP. If they are, then reach out to them. If they are not, well, find out someone else in that company. So let's say you are a dev tool, but a CEO or someone from a non-dev role visited your site. Target their CPO, right? Because those are your ICP. You can generate some kind of messaging. I saw Charles visited me. I thought this might be something that the team might be looking. So basically, Tony is telling all the teams, the startups, the enterprises, they are moving towards a more form outbound rather than pure old outbound because that is something that is really difficult to get attention. Try
Yeah.
to connect with people who are actually in a position to buy your or actually, has showed some kind of intent around the group. Right? So it's like we have a lot of, interesting use. So we learn from our customers more than we just sell them execute, but they are the ones bringing in the idea. So yesterday only, I think I was on a call with one of the customers. So they had a very interesting WhatsApp email campaign that they are planning to run. So, like quite interesting intent that I will not be able to, share much detail, but it was a very powerful intent that they capture and they don't want to do it on LinkedIn. Yeah, so we want to do it on WhatsApp. Right? So we had them set this up and the ROI that they are getting there is very high because WhatsApp is kind of, quite easy to reach. Like you will grab the attention
Yeah.
very easily and the intent was there very powerful. So people will not, just mark you spam. So these are the people who have really shown interest. They have sent all those memes in the WhatsApp messages, not like a yeah, simple text. They created some good memes, just trying to grab attention, trying to, you have to, basically
Yeah.
any point of time, it's all about doing something that others are not doing because that is what will get you attention in front of your customer, right?
Yeah. The continuous innovation is huge. I mean,
Exactly.
if you're not constantly thinking of something new that nobody else is doing, you've already kind of lost the race because everybody's doing that. It's hard to capture people's attention.
I was on a call with a senior sales leader few weeks ago. So this was the line that any GTM strategy is a life cycle of 2 to 3 months. It will give you good ROI, but if you just do not keep on innovating the strategy, thinking of new ways, the ROI keeps on decreasing. So that is what the GTM leaders are responsible for in a company.
Right. What are some of the tools that people can integrate with Bitscale or that, are most kind of create the most successful plays when used in conjunction with Bitscale?
Yeah. The answer to that depends on what kind of movement you are leading, right? So if you are, largely inbound, it's very helpful to integrate tools like art, just capture anyone who is
Yeah.
visiting your site because a lot of people may be visiting your site if you are. So start from that because that is like day zero value proposition. Those people are already interested in you, right? That's why they are coming there. So do not seek any good leads from there. Try to capture them there. All right. Do a what? So this is what a tool like us helps you in, right? If you buy web vectors, you will only be capturing let's say 30% of the with our tool, you can, kind of do a waterfall. The RB2B will capture it, vector will capture it, the vectors will capture it. So do a waterfall there. Capture anyone whom you can there. Right? They are very valuable. And when it comes to if you are more outbound and sales driven, I think one good thing that has been working very well is tools like 3D or Bitscale, right? Where you can capture those LinkedIn intent data. So right now, I think after this AI boom, a lot of influencer marketing has grown, right? People are doing a lot of influencer marketing. Tools are doing a lot of influencer marketing. So
Yeah.
capture the intent on LinkedIn, right? Because that is where your people are, right? LinkedIn has been the center of SaaS and B2B at least for the past few years. So Pigify has been doing a really good job. So capture all the keywords, we integrate with Pigify, make them enrich to your outbound. We also natively integrate with LinkedIn where we can get all this data, just track keywords which you feel are related to you. Reddit has been a very good place where a lot of B2B SaaS companies are finding value in. So people are, trying to all this social listening word, right? The keyword there is social listening. People are
Yeah.
doing it a lot on LinkedIn as well as these are the, if we talk about it now.
Yeah, the Reddit thing is interesting. That has definitely grown a lot in the last few years. I mean, I remember at a job probably like, I don't know, 6 years ago, it was starting to become a thing, but I think people really didn't know how to do it properly. And now it's become a lot bigger
I still
strategy.
think like not a lot of people are, taking advantage of that. You will see very
Yeah.
few companies who actually have good GTM strategies around, how to capture intent on Reddit and all. But yeah, that is something that everyone will start exploring more and more down the line because everyone knows now Reddit is giving you ROI, so people will start exploring it. I'm
Yeah.
sure it will catch up
That'll be one of the next things then you have to move away from because everybody's doing it.
definitely.
Yeah. What are some tests or like learnings that you've had since you guys started Bitscale where maybe something didn't go as planned or you had kind of a big lesson in maybe I mean I don't like to use the word failure, but a lesson
So
learned.
I think the word there is failure only. You don't have to be hesitant. So, like I will take one example, right? So, what happens when your company starts to grow? You start delegating things, right? And you are not sure
Yeah.
what you need to delegate and what you don't need to delegate until it's too late, right? Sometimes it's like you delegate. So,
Yeah.
simple example, like for us, we as I mentioned it, we always want to be, very customer obsessed. We want to, be customer first. So I think it was somewhere around 6, 8 months back when we, started bringing in customers. We started building a customer support, right? That is when we kind of started delegating our customers to the team as well, right? And some of the big customers we started delegating, and the training there was not the new person that we bring in. Like, there was not a very well documented training program for that, get up to speed on how exactly you have to handle those stuff. But we had a lot of things to do. So we, started kind of naturally. And it was not something that we wanted to do, but it started happening naturally. Now we have a customer success team. They will, handle the support. And what actually started happening is they were not trained well. Because it was our fault. As a founder, it's our duty to, bring them up to speed, get them at a level where they can, confidently help our customers. So that was not properly because everything was it's not happening so fast. So we, kind of, lied in there. So what started happening, customers started getting frustrated. They were like, we are not able to use, and then they are not getting, so they are getting support. People are replying, the team is replying, but they're not getting value out of that support. Right? Support is just not about, you reply to the query. The main motive always is to make the person successful in what they wanted to do today. That was the goal. And that was something that, started this. So then we went. So we, created a good onboarding program for our customers. So that was the first onboarding program, not tech, not product, nothing. The first onboarding program that we created was for customers, customer success. And yeah, this is how you have to go about it. Then we started, we get to know one of the founders has to keep a keen eye on it. So we defined the
Yeah.
responsibility more closely. So sometimes when you start to grow, a lot of things happen, and then you delegate wrong things toward it. There will be a point of time where you will have to do it, but if sometimes you end up delegating wrong, so that is very crucial as a founder, as a as an entrepreneur. If you are building something slowly and steadily, you will have to delegate because you have to focus on a lot of different things. What you choose to delegate and when you choose to delegate it, that's I think the key part there.
Yeah, I think and that's something that I've had to learn too. Like everybody goes through that process of what,
Right.
the founder cannot do everything. So you've gotta, you've got to know what to outsource and what to delegate and what's really worth your time. That's one of the reasons why right now we're working on building out a ton of just internal workflows for us at Inertia so that I don't have to do certain things that are very manual or time consuming and tedious. And I can focus my time and energy on other higher impact areas. But I think everybody kind of goes through that learning curve of what is the right thing to delegate.
Yeah. And I think this is something that you learn along the way, but it's
Yeah.
important to just keep this in mind. Keep what you need to delegate. There's no doubt about it. You won't be able to do anything, right? So you have to delegate. It's just a matter of how you learn the process of what needs to be delegated at what point of time in the journey. I think that is something that. Then you go through the journey, you learn it along the way.
Yeah. Let's talk through like, are you guys more inbound or outbound led right now? And what's kind of
Uh,
your strategy for gaining pipeline right now?
I think for us, two, three things are working really well. First is, as we mentioned, it, so we do a lot of intent-based outbound. So we, do social listening on LinkedIn. We have started Reddit as well now. With that outbound, we don't do any cold outbound. It's like we just filter out a bunch of companies that are in our ICP and then, start forwarding. So that is something
Yeah.
that we don't do. We do a lot of intent-based outbound. And since we are not in proper PLG mode as of now. We will be in something, but as of now, we are not. So referral has been working really good for it. So our partners, our word of mouth, our existing customer referrals alone. So that is one channel,
Yeah.
and we are doubling down on that as well. We want to. Idea is simple. We want our customers to be successful, so then they can go and talk about us as well. They should feel confident. Yeah, to go and try will be able to see some. So referral is a big channel that we talk about. That's the second, where we grow a lot of our pipeline is with intent-based outbound on emails, LinkedIn, and other things really well.
Yeah. Is there any, I guess, what are your thoughts on kind of like the future of inbound and outbound? Obviously there's way more tools now at everyone's disposal, and AI has really changed a lot about how we work and the different strategies that you can do. What do you kind of see as like the future of pipeline?
So what we feel, and this is like something we also keep thinking daily, right? This is something that so we are generally very interested in this space. We are heavily invested in it. We kind of, talk to our customers on daily basis what they. So the idea is the things are evolving a lot of fast. Getting attention is not that easy in any market, especially in the GTM space. Right? So what you want to do, and at the end, you have just one goal, right? You want to get in front of the customer who is ready to buy you. That is the core of what GTM has been from past 10 years. You just have to get in front of the customer who is ready to buy your product, right? Who has a need for it and who has the capacity to pay for it. That is the core idea that everyone is trying to chase. How things are moving is like people are more and more we face there will be a lot of agents. There will be agents sending out messages. There is an interesting this will also start doing. There will be agents on the other side of it as well, right? A lot of email boxes are bringing in agents to clutter the noise. Superhuman has done it. Gmail is also trying to do, or Outlook is doing it. So
Yeah.
everyone kind of will bring in agents on the other side of the table. It's not like you are just automating the sending part. The receiving part will also get intelligent. The sending part is kind of getting an intelligence there, whom to send, when to send, right? Receiving end will also get intelligence there. What to, actually give to my user, what I should, just spam it out, what is just noise, what is not useful. That is something also that will start developing at the end, try to focus what we feel and what a lot of like in the conversation I have been with your different round people skills, try to nail down your ICP to more refine. Make your ICP as refined as you go. Because then you will be able to understand their problem. Right? Just define it as much as you can.
Yeah.
Try to talk to them. Just find as many people as you can. Stay close to them because then you will be in a better position to know what their problem is. And if you know what their problem is, see if you can help them. If your product can help them out, and if they have a problem, then you will always find a way to, some way or another, you will be in front of them. I think that is something that is really interesting. Obviously, the way of doing it will change and evolve. If you have goals and saying that you kind of find a bridge, you'll find a way to, bridge that bridge, which will, connect you with that, right? So this is what we see. But again, the space is moving a lot of things to, look out for.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because it's kind of a cycle of you need to use a product like Bitscale to have a lot of these processes automated so that you can then take the time to go meet with customers and prospects and ask them questions and get to know them and really understand how you can improve your whole funnel. So it's
It's
really
kind of
interesting that it's kind of a cycle.
Yeah, it's like an iterative process, right? So
Yeah.
you will have something on day one, you will go out, you will get some more insight, then you will iterate on it, then you will have something else on day two, and then this is the
Yeah.
cycle that keeps on evolving.
Yeah, it's so true. What do you think I like you mentioned AI agents. I feel like still there's a huge like learning curve of how when should you use an AI agent versus just creating an automated workflow and like what's the difference. And um I think there's probably lack of an understanding of what the real purpose and use and value of an AI agent is. What do you think people kind of get wrong about AI agents, or what are some things that people should keep in mind when they're building those?
What I feel ki, you can't know what you know is working. You are the ones who is responsible for devising the strategy. If you go out and say I will use an AI agent to devise the strategy for me, that is something that I don't feel personally is so that this is what we feel. That is not something that you can
Yeah.
delegate to an AI. If you know what is working, you can definitely automate it and you can scale it. So that's the power that all of this tool. If you see, this is the power that has been brought in, right? If you know what you want to do, you can do it very, very fast. You can, save your time there, improve your efficiency there. But if you just go about, let's take for example, I'm a new founder and I'm, planning to build something, right? If I go out and if I start using different AI agents to, tell me what I should build. So that is not something you'll find success with, right? Because that's not the job. That's your job as a founder. If you go out and tell them, who should I sell this product to, right? Again, that is not a good thing to ask an agent to do, right? Because it will give that answer to,
Yeah.
okay, this is something that you have to figure out. Now, let's say you have figured it out. This is selling already, and this is how I want to do it. Or now the AI agents comes into it. It will help you build that views. Once you know what you have to build, you don't need to have the technical expertise at this point. You can
Yeah.
obviously go out. There are several agents right, that will help you build the bridge that you are. And if you want to, modify that bridge, we have tools like Bitscale and it has been so popular nowadays for the same reason, right? So once you know what you want to build, then you can go out and seek those agents help actually build that and then scale it down. But yeah, I think the human touch and once, so like in our process also, we don't do a lot of post sales can be, automated by agents at this point of time because that is where you need people need to see that trust. See, the end, what you are asking the customer is to trust your product and trust you. So that is when they want to,
Yeah.
see someone who they can trust rather than an AI. Yeah, it's a very thin line. Currently, obviously, it will evolve. The agents will also evolve. So
Yeah, they cannot fully replace humans, at least not at this point. And there's still so much strategy and thought and honestly creativity that needs to come from the humans, but they can help execute, which is huge.
that is what has been happening. Right? All the agents that are getting success, the kind of products that are getting success, right, are the
Yeah.
ones who are able to help with execution and save a lot of time. You want to
Yeah.
save, you don't want to spend a lot of time into executing once you know what you want to do, once you have strategized.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just to wrap things up, a few quick hits before we end this. What do you think is like overrated versus underrated in go to market right now?
Think like underrated is definitely outbound. People are thinking that outbound is about poetry and all. It's not true. Like if you know, again, you have to be smart about it. Like you have to be really smart about it. Ki whom do you want to reach out and what you are selling. Your messaging has to be crisp. You can't,
Yeah.
just add a lot of, jibber jabber and expect a, reply. You have to be very crisp about it. You have see, there's a simple rule of thumb. If you are asking someone all of 15 minutes. You have to check that person's worth and how much that 15 minutes. If you will be able to give that kind of those 15 minutes, right? It's something that you really try to keep. Outbound is definitely working. It's working for us. It's working for a lot of our customers. There's a lot of, you keep these kinds of posts keep on showing in your profile. I think outbound is still the way to, at the end, you need a way to connect with your customer. Outbound is one of them. So that is definitely something that is necessary.
Yeah.
Overrated are AI agents, so it's not like they can solve everything for you, right? You have to be again very clear
What?
about like again. See, if you want your if you go out and say, I will use this agent to figure out my ICT. That is something very tough to do, right? It's very
Yeah.
tough to do. You might, the models drift away. What you wanted to do and what you are getting now, it will drift. I think overrated is like the human aspect of it. You have to have the human aspect. You can't think everything will be automated. in
Yeah.
matter of days. There will always be a human touch that will always be there. Because at the end, we have the understanding of what we want to do, intelligence of how we want. I think one more thing that has been catching up in the GTM space are the events outbound, right?
Mm.
People are hosting a lot of intimate events, like let's say
Yeah.
10, 12 people dinner. That is something that is picking up because people are kind of exhausted from agents coming here, outbound bombarding them.
Yeah.
So this GTM has picked up, and this is the reverse side of it. Right? It shows you people will slowly value human connection with the events you get the scene in San Francisco. A lot of events you can see. Events happening on a regular basis, networking a lot more value is being created out of it as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think if you're using technology properly, you can help save time on a lot of the manual execution, but then that allows you to spend your time in those higher impact areas like going to events. I've been going to,
Build the connections. If you
right.
build connection, whom you actually help your
Yeah.
customers get in success. Share your knowledge, share your learning, get learnings from them as well. Right? So if you are saving some time here, you need to proper utilize it somewhere else.
That's where it goes back to what's your strategy. But I think that we went through like a period, I think, where everyone was kind of like, why would I go to an in-person event? We don't need it, especially during COVID. It was like, it's not useful
One
anymore.
argument that you keep getting like it's not scalable and all. You don't need it to be scalable. You need to.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think we've definitely returned to events where I think people just want to connect and like get out from, behind the screen and actually meet people that are going through similar things and have discussions about what's working and what's not working. I've been attending a bunch of events recently in New York, and I think people just really want to connect and know that they're not, especially foundership slash early stage startups, even if you're, on a team of 10, that's still very different than having a team of 500 people. So, I think people just want to connect and know that they're not alone. They're going through it with other people. I love that we've returned back to in-person and events and like really making human connections, because I mean that's essentially at the heart of it. And everyone thinks AI, it's gonna, ruin everything. But I think it's really allowing us to get back to those, our root. It goes back to if you're, delegating, right? If you're automating things, then you have the time to just go have these conversations, which are super, super valuable. So the human piece is not going away. The strategy, the creativity, the learning, like all of that is still, I would say number one in terms of importance. Obviously, we're customers of Bitscale, so big fan and love watching you guys on LinkedIn, follow all of your posts. If people want to learn more about Bitscale, bitscale.ai. All right, thank you so much.